I am going to dive in and just give an overview of three of what I consider to be probably some of the best training that I've encountered in a long time, which is why I think Mindy and I ended up having the discussion and why I thought I would share. Most of you know that my background is primarily in workforce development, at least most recently. Prior to that, I was in human services for about 20 years. And but in workforce development, I was able to partner with many of you, but as I began to transition into regional planning and development, I said, you know what is the best resource for educating and upskilling myself as I enter into sort of a whole nother career facet. And many of you know I have met with you more than once to pick your brain, especially Scott Warner, my counterpart in Upper Shore Regional Council in so many different ways. But I said, you know, what's the best resource? So someone recommended to me the International Economic Development Council. And since encountering the council, this is just a brief synopsis of the few trainings. I've done some more work with them, as well as engage Dr. David Colesdow, who is one of their expert trainers in assisting us with our strategic plan for the Upper Shore Regional Council. That was a great learning experience for me and really allowed us to just really come up with, I think, some useful strategies for how we want to govern ourselves as an organization. So he was a wonderful resource. And I just, as a matter of fact, spoke with him yesterday. He was just back from a leadership development conference, and his specialty is doing rural economic development. So he's worked with various rural economic development agencies and regions across the country. Right now he's doing some work in Mississippi. He's done some work in New England, on the West Coast, Colorado, and his list really goes on, Tennessee. But when he came to our region, and he did do some background research prior to coming, and he and I did some teleconferences and some other things. But when he got here, one of the things that he noticed is that our region, our level of expertise among the people who are already doing the work was extremely high for a rural area. He said that really stood out for him. The backgrounds that we came from, and some of you met him, some of the training experience that we already had and brought to the field. So we have all the strengths that we need, and much of that